Hey everyone, SolarPrimal here. Pokemon Heart Gold with only an Apom gave me something to clap about. Let's go bananas for another monkey Pokemon. The OG, Mankey. I've always wanted to run a Mankey on a playthrough of FireRed, but I could never commit to it. So this is your chance, Mankey. Let's look at stats. These numbers look familiar to Apom stats, with the exception of Mankey having more attack than speed. So this should have a very similar feel. Though looking at its moveset, our stab moves will be fighting type this time, so we will be relying on Karate Chop for a good while. I'm cautious of Cross Chop with that lower accuracy. We do get Brick Break later on, so maybe that'll be a safer upgrade, but we'll see. We got a pretty diverse move pool with TMs, but it may not be worthwhile with Mankey's stats. I'll have to bone up on my typings for Generation 3 on attack versus special attack again. As always, do keep in mind I'm writing this script as I go through the challenge, so all this is being written before I get started. Comment down below your guesses whether I can win or not. I got a feeling we may have troubles against the Psychic Gem and possibly Team Rocket with their Zubats and Golbats. So let's go over the rules. I can only use Mankey in battle, but I can catch other Pokemon for HMs. No glitches or exploits, and no items in battle with the exception of held items. Now it got brought up in one of my previous videos, so I'll address it here. Yes, my rules do look very similar to another Canadian YouTuber that does Pokemon challenges. And I'll say right here, my dry bread has been a huge inspiration to this entire process. Though I do hope to one day eventually grow into my own format of things. So for now, this is how we're doing it, and I just like it that way because it makes sense to me. Time to roll this barrel of monkeys. Let's do this. Using the Universal Randomizer, we swap Bulbasaur for Mankey. Let's weigh our rival pick Charmander, who evolves into a Charizard, which is part flying type. This is to give us the best challenge later on. We nickname her Danky, just because. If there was any reference I could tie this to, it would be my Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke, where I nicknamed my starter Danky Kang. I forget to check our stats before starting our first rival battle, but it plays out like most of our first battles go. We eventually knock out Charmander. So let's now look at our stats. We get the modest nature. Oh dear. That's one of the ones we definitely didn't want to get. Attack is down and special attack is up. Well, it'll be Eevees to the rescue. Hopefully. And we also get the Vital Spirit ability, which prevents sleep. Yay? I decided to Eevee train on Route 22 in the hopes of encountering more Mankeys for attack Eevees. Since we're here, let's take on the optional rival battle. And Pidgey and Charmander are knocked out with a Karate Chop followed by a Scratch each. Admittedly, it helps that we're overleveled. And since we're overleveled, let's take on Gym Leader Brock. And yeah, we steamroll Brock's team with our fighting moves. That doesn't happen often for us, but I'll take it. First gym badge done and dusted. Before stepping into Mount Moon, we teach Danky Rock Tomb. I also picked a Dome Fossil, but you know, that doesn't matter, right? Upon exiting Mount Moon, we teach Danky Mega Punch. Since we got Rock Tomb in our arsenal, we may stand a decent chance against our rival, so let's see how it goes. We nearly knock out Pidgeotto in one shot with Rock Tomb, but her survives and blasts us with Sand Attack on Danky. This causes us to miss Karate Chop and take a Gust. But the following Karate Chop lands to knock out Pidgeotto. Danky misses Mega Punch, but luckily Abra only knows Teleport. So our second Mega Punch is able to knock out Abra in one shot. Rattata gets Quick Attack in before it goes down to Karate Chop. Charmander also barely survives Rock Tomb, gain its speed lower, but activating its Blaze ability, causing its Ember to deal more damage. And then, Karate Chop misses, allowing Charmander's Ember to finish us off. Trying again at level 24, we miss the first couple Rock Tombs and Danky takes on Embers. But the third Rock Tomb hits to knock out Charmander in one shot, ending the battle. We top up our experience to level 25 and take on this Cerulean City Gym Leader, Misty. Staryu's one shot by Low Kick. Starmie, however, won't fall to the same trick. So we take a Water Pulse before missing Mega Punch. Danky is then knocked out by a crit Water Pulse. Okay, maybe we'll go pay Bill a visit first, I guess. So after picking up the SS ticket from Bill, we give Misty another go at level 28. Starmie still outspeeds us, landing a Water Pulse before we hit with Mega Punch. The next Water Pulse confuses Danky, but she still manages to knock out Starmie with the next Mega Punch, ending the battle. Second gym badge, done and dusted. With victory in our sails, we take on our next rival battle on the SS Anne. Pidgeotto still barely survives a hit from Rock Tomb, striking Danky with Sand Attack. But after a couple low kicks and taking a gust, we knock out Pidgeotto. Kadabra is one shot by Mega Punch. Raticate is one shot by a crit Karate Chop. Danky misses Karate Chop on Charmeleon as she is hit with Smokescreen. But the next Karate Chop crits, knocking out Charmeleon in one shot, ending the battle. Not sure why I went with Karate Chop over Rock Tomb there, but oh well. Now for Gym Leader Lieutenant Surge. Voltorb is one shot by Karate Chop. Pikachu is one shot by Karate Chop. Raichu survives the first Karate Chop and uses Thunder Wave on Danky. We're hit with Shockwave, but the next Karate Chop crits to knock out Raichu, ending the battle. Third gym badge, done and dusted. Traversing through Rock Tunnel, we encounter a move tutor and teach Danky Rock Slide as a nice upgrade from Rock Tomb. Taking the long way around, we face off against our rival at the Lavender Tower. Pidgeotto is one shot by Rock Slide. Finally. Execute takes a Mega Punch and hits Danky with Confusion, but then goes down to the next Mega Punch. Kadabra is one shot by Mega Punch. Gyarados lowers Danky's attack with Intimidate, preventing Rock Slide from one hit KOing it down. So it takes a second Rock Slide to finish off the Water Onix, and Danky levels up to 39. Charmeleon is then one shot by Rock Slide, ending the battle. I think I made a fair choice on the starter swap. Almost all of our rivals' team is typed against us. But in the end we prevailed. Until we didn't. Now, we garden our way towards Gym Leader Erica. But due to the Mega Punch missing, Danky is paralyzed and then Giga Drain down before being finished off by Victory Bill's Acid. Okay, so I think it's time to upgrade Mega Punch. Luckily, we can pick up TM27 Return and teach it to Danky. With Return, we return, holding a Cherry Berry for good measure for our rematch against Erica. This allows us to brush off the paralysis from Victory Bill's Stun Spore and knock it out after a couple returns. Tangela is one shot by a crit return, but the paralysis eventually strikes again and Vileplume knocks out Danky. So maybe we have to come back to this gym later. For now, let's take on Team Rocket's boss, Giovanni. Onix survives the first Karate Chop, laying out a fit of rage before going down to the next Karate Chop. Rhyhorn is one shot by Karate Chop, and Danky levels up to 43. Kangaskhan takes the first Karate Chop and then misses Mega Punch. That's rough, buddy. Before being knocked out by a second Karate Chop, ending the battle. While exploring the Team Rocket hideout, one of our Meowths picks up TM10 Hidden Power. So let's see what Danky's Hidden Power is. To those unfamiliar with this process, I saved my game right before teaching a Pokemon the move Hidden Power and test it out on certain Pokemon to determine the move's type. That way, if this results in a non-desirable typing, we could just revert back to the previous save and continue with our challenge. So, we deal regular damage to Drowsy, super effective damage to Caterpie, and not very effective damage to Growlithe, making Danky's Hidden Power Fire. Since Fire is a special type attack move in Generation 3, that unfortunately means we won't be using Hidden Power this time around. Sure, Fire could be useful, but our attack set is the better of the two, so we're moving on. Speaking of things weak to Fire, let's try rematching Erica. You may have noticed that my levels are up a bit. This is due to me trying to get a head start on filling up our Pokedex, as I anticipate we may need leftovers later. And, yeah, Victory Bell and Tangela are swept by Return. Vileplume still survives the first strike of Return but misses Stun Spore, and then is taken down after a couple more returns, ending the battle. Fourth gym badge, done and dusted. While battling our way through Team Rocket, Danky levels up to 50. So here are her stats. And yeah, That's about where I expected them to be. Danky is yet another fast smacker. I'm still trying to make that a thing. So now for our rival battle at Silph Co. But our first go had Danky Kang miss 2 rock slides in a row, allowing Pidgeot to land 2 wing attacks, knocking us out. And our second try doesn't fare much better, with Danky missing the second rock slide, ending the battle with the same results. And on the following try, we managed to not miss any rock slides to knock out Pidgeot in 2 shots. Execute attempts Stun Spore but misses and then gets knocked out after 2 returns. Alakazam is one-shot by a return, but then we miss Rock Slide on Charizard and it uses Wing Attack to knock us out. So at level 54, we're able to one-shot Pidgeot with Rock Slide, but then thanks to Execute, Stun Spore, and Confusion combo, Danky is knocked out. On our next try, we push through the paralysis to knock out Execute in a couple returns. Alakazam sets up Future Sight before going down in one shot to return. But then Charizard hits Danky with a crit Flamethrower. Okay. We're back for some more at level 56. We dodge Stun Spore again, giving us a better chance against Charizard, who goes down in one shot to Rock Slide. Nice. Gyarados then takes a couple Rock Slides before going down, ending the battle. Oh god, the next part of the script, for some reason my phone auto-corrected Nidoqueen to Nidoqueen! So, enjoy that. So let's take on Giovanni. Nidorino is one shot by return. Danky hits Nidoqueen with return and responds with a body slam, paralyzing us. We take a couple kicks to the face before finishing off Nidoqueen. Kangaskhan fakes out Danky Kang. I did it again. Kangaskhan fakes out Danky to flinch. Mega Punch brings us down to 4 HP, so our Karate Chop hits and nearly knocks out the Big Mama. I smell defeat, but Kangaskhan uses Tail Whip instead of attacking. But it doesn't matter, as we are paralyzed and then get knocked out by Rage. So we try again right away. And we get better luck this time, sort of, since we become poisoned by Nidorino's Poison Point ability instead. So we can't get paralyzed now. Yay! And for some reason, Giovanni's Pokemon don't do any damaging moves. So far, the poison has done more damage to us. Danky then goes for Cross Chop to one-shot Kangaskhan down. And then Rhyhorn is one-shot by a crit Karate Chop, ending the battle. With Team Rocket cleared out, let's take on the Saffron City Gym leader, Sabrina. And yeah, with how over-leveled we are, we sweep Sabrina's entire team with return. Well, and a Rock Slide on Venomoth, just to spice things up. 5th Gym Badge, done and dusted. We even take on the optional Fighting Dojo with similar results. By the way, I picked up Hitmonlee after defeating the Master. I knew if I didn't say what I picked, you'll all ask. Actually, ask anyways. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I take some time to fill up our Pokedex up to 30 registered Pokemon, and I go about this part sort of out of order. We wake up Snorlax using the Pokeflute from Mr. Fuji and knock it out. I then fly back to Route 11 to pick up the item finder from one of Professor Oak's aides. Finally, we use the item finder while standing where the Snorlax was to obtain leftovers. And of course, for good measure, we equip them to Danky. Now for Gym Leader Koga. I was originally thinking this gym was going to give us trouble, but nope. We sweep Koga's entire team with return. But I goofed up at the end. I wasn't paying attention and I forgot to hit B while Danky was evolving. Yeah. So I had to revert to my last save and battle Koga all over again. Sure, I could have just cut this part out, but I wanted to stay transparent and share my whoopsies with you guys. Only major difference this time around is the toxic landing causing our health to drain away. But we still managed to see victory, winning us the battle again. 6th Gym Badge done and dusted. Surfing right along to battle the second last gym leader, Blaine. Things go very well as we almost sweep Blaine's entire team with Rock Slide. But with all the Intimidate stacked up, eventually making it so we barely deal half of Arcanine's HP with Rock Slide, as its Fire Blast delivers massive damage to Danky. It's not long before Arcanine knocks us out. It was close, so we try again at level 64. but we're still knocked out. Well, it wasn't the Psychic Gym I should have been worried about. It was the Fire Gym. I'd like to say I'm proud of my favorite type, but man, they're in my way. So at level 67, we land the first Rock Slide getting Arcanine flinched. The second Rock Slide nearly knocks out Arcanine, but it survives with a sliver to retaliate with Fire Blast. Blaine then heals Arcanine back to full, but Danky's Rock Slide takes it back to half. And then a final Rock Slide knocks out Arcanine, ending the battle. 7th Gym Badge done and dusted. Finally, it is time to take on Gym Leader Giovanni. Danky misses the first Cross Chop, luckily Rhyhorn uses Scary Face. But we're still faster and knock out Rhyhorn with another go at Cross Chop. Dugtrio uses Earthquake, merely nicking Danky as we hit with a crit return. Nidoqueen is hit by return, nearly going down, but survives and uses Earthquake, gaining a bit more damage on Danky. Then we get this awkward back and forth with Giovanni healing Nidoqueen, not once but twice with Hyper Potions. But eventually we knock out Nidoqueen. Nidoking's Earthquake packs a bit more of a punch as Danky's return brings Nidoking down to red HP. We take one more Earthquake before knocking out Nidoking with return. This does poison Danky from its Poison Point ability, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. So my hope is to finish off Rhyhorn with Cross Chop. But we miss and get knocked out by Earthquake. We definitely would have won if we didn't miss so many Cross Chops. Making our return at level 72. We get a bit of better luck going into this battle, though we still get poisoned by one of the Nidos. Which one was it? Queen! So like before, we're hoping to one-shot Giovanni's last Rhyhorn with Cross Chop. And we hit! Landing us the victory and our 8th and final Gym Badge. I guess you can say that that Gym Badge was done and dusted. As we trek towards Victory Road, our rival wants a battle. Pidgeot is one-shot by Rock Slide. Alakazam is one-shot by Return. Charizard is one-shot by Rock Slide. Rhyhorn is almost one-shot by Cry Chop, and then survives the recall from its own takedown. So, the second Cry Chop knocks it out. Execute tanks Return to use Stun Spore on Danky. It then charges up Solar Beam, but then is knocked out by the next Return. Gyarados intimidates Danky Kang, and instead of going for an attack, uses Leer to lower our defense before taking a Rock Slide. Gyarados then hits with Hydro Pump, but it leaves itself washed up as Danky hits with another Rock Slide, ending the battle. I've now just realized that 5 out of the 6 of my rival's team members are super effective against fighting types. And for those wondering, I didn't look ahead for this to happen. It just turned out to be the right choice. I'm so used to our rival's team whenever I pick Charmander as the starter, as it is typically more rounded. We run into a bit of trouble on Victory Road as one of the trainers puts out our flame. Just goes to show, these solo challenges are full of surprises. After a bit of rough and tumble, we arrive at the Pokemon League. So here are our stats. We got ourselves yet another Fast Smacker like I've mentioned before. Now I did replace Cry Chop with Brick Break, as Cry Chop was falling behind in damage. I still have a Cross Chop, yep. There it is. It was eventually going to happen. I still have Cross Chop as a just in case move. Return has actually kept us in the runnings as usual. Leave your final guesses if we can win or not. Agatha might be the thing to put an end to this run, but only one way to find out. Let's do this. First up is Elite Four Lorelei. Dewgong is one shot by Brick Break. Danky hits with Return, and Lorelei must be asleep at the wheel as it tells Slowbro to use Yawn on Danky. Probably the first time our ability comes into play this entire run. The next Return gets Slowbro to red HP as it uses Surf. So naturally, Lorelei heals Slowbro back up to full. Another 3 returns are used to knock out Slowbro as it sneaks in a Surf. Cloyster survives Brick Break as it lays out Spikes. I guess Lorelei couldn't tell that I only have 1 Pokemon on my team, so the Spikes aren't gonna do anything. Though Cloyster does use Protect to keep itself in the battle a bit longer. Not a bad strategy, but then it tries again, and effectively gets itself knocked out by another Brick Break. Jinx is then one-shot by a crit Rock Slide, and Lapras barely survives Brick Break to use Confuse Ray on Danky. This triggers its Citrus Berry to bring it back to yellow HP. Lapras then gets healed by Full Restore, but is brought right back down to red HP thanks to Brick Break. Finally, Mankey snaps out of confusion and finishes off Lapras, ending the battle. Next is Elite Four Bruno. I was confident going into this battle as I suspect both Onixes will go down fairly easy. Case in point on the first Onix. But the second one dodges Cross Chop to hit with Earthquake. Luckily, the second attempt with Cross Chop hits and knocks out Onix. And then we're stopped by Hitmonchan's counter. Probably should have just gone for the Cross Chop there. Trying again at level 78. We missed the first Cross Chop on Hitmonchan as it uses Sky Uppercut. Luckily, the next Cross Chop crits to knock out Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee also goes down the Cross Chop. Machamp Terry cruises Mankey's Cross Chop and uses Rock Tomb to lower our speed. Luckily for us, our attack triggers its Citrus Berry, so Bruno doesn't full restore Machamp as we still are faster, and we use Brick Break to knock out the final member of Bruno's team and level up to 79, ending the battle. Third is Elite Four Agatha. This is one of the battles I was dreading. We only have one move that can be used against her Ghost-type Pokemon, Rock Slide. But we get a bit of luck as the first Rock Slide flinches Gengar, allowing us to sweep it with the following crit Rock Slide. Naturally, I would have gone for Rock Slide again on Golbat, but I wasn't sure how many I'd need coming up, so I used Return instead. This does allow Golbat to hit with Air Cutter, gain a bit of damage on Mankey, but the second return finishes the job. Haunter is able to take a Rock Slide only to use Curse to knock itself out. A smart move as I notice our leftovers won't be able to keep up with the Curse. Mankey then misses Rock Slide on Agatha's second Gengar as it hits with a crit Sludge Bomb to knock us out. And look at this, on our way back up at level 80, we miss a bunch of Cross Chops, allowing Machamp to bulk up and destroy us with a Cross Chop of his own. That is the tricky thing about moves like Rock Slide and Cross Chop. They're high risk and high reward. By the time we get back to Agatha, we're level 81. And we look to be in better condition as we knock out the second Gengar with a crit Rock Slide. Or so I thought. Since Arbok's Intimidate causes Return to barely get to half HP, and Mankey is hit with Sludge Bomb, becoming poison in the process. Arbok hangs in there as it uses Sludge Bomb, gain Mankey to 36 HP, and the poison pushes us further to 24 HP. Thank goodness for leftovers, or I'd be toast. Agatha wisely full restores Arbok as it takes another return, and Mankey is nearly taken out by poison. But Mankey pushes through and crits on the next return to knock out Arbok, ending the battle. Yep, we beat Agatha, but barely. Now it's time to take on Elite Four Lance. Gyarados being sent out first is troublesome with Intimidate, but we get lucky with the first Rock Slide as it flinches, and then the next one crits to knock out Gyarados. Aerodactyl takes a Cross Shot, but it lacks oomph, thanks to the Intimidate, as it uses Scary Face to harshly lower our speed. This causes Mankey to sustain heavy damage from Wing Attack, but we get Brick Break to hit and finish off Aerodactyl. But then Dragonite outspeeds us and knocks out Mankey with a Wing Attack. At this point, we're better off level grinding off the Elite Four and hope for a good run against Lance. 6 more failed attempts and we get to level 94. But this time, after defeating Agatha, I feel like if we could survive a turn or two, we could use a move to improve our stats for the rest of the battle against Lance. This strategy worked when we used Aipom previously with Tickle. So let's try swapping Cross Chop for Bulk Up. And it seems to work. We set up 3 Bulk Ups as Gyarados tosses Dragon Rages at us and Mankey heals every turn with leftovers. The results: we can one-shot Gyarados with Rock Slide, Aerodactyl and Dragonite are one-shot with Rock Slide, critting for good measure on the Dragonite. The Dragonairs are one-shot with Brick Break, critting on the second one. Mankey then levels up to 95, ending the battle. Bulk Up just saved this run, guys. Now, for our final battle of this run, against our rival, the champion. Pidgeot is one-shot by Rock Slide. Alakazam is one-shot by Return. Charizard is one-shot by Rock Slide. Executor survives Return and uses Giga Drain. This tells me I can safely set up Bulk Up as another Giga Drain gets us to half. Mankey then uses Return to knock out Executor. Rhydon is one-shot by Brick. Gyarados' Intimidate affects Rock Slide enough to leave it standing in red HP, but it also flinches. I predict the full restore from our rival to set up another bulk up, causing Rock Slide to one-hit KO Gyarados, ending the battle, crowning us the champion. What an incredibly lucky run we had at the end there, with not missing a single Rock Slide. So we did it! We beat Pokemon FireRed with only one Mankey. And we didn't have to reach level 100 to do it. Something that these monkey challenges has taught me is to never underestimate the power of stat moves. For my next Pokemon challenge, we're gonna do a special one. Can I beat Pokemon White 2 with only baby Pokemon? Leave a comment down below on your suggestions for future challenges. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and ring the bell to be notified when a new video goes up. Maybe we'll tackle another Pokemon group in future videos. Only time will tell. So until then you guys, this is SolarPrimal signing out, and bye for now.